this cello particularly has a very strong voice. It's a big character on its own. When we discuss during practicing, the cello often wins and says, no, try to play it like this. And so it's an incredibly strong and masculine voice, which is unusual for a Strat. It has a bit of a darker voice and suits very well my idea of the voice of the cello. I was always very intrigued by Dresden because I came here when I was 20 years old and became principal cellist, and I felt the culture is really home in Dresden, and music is at home in Dresden, much more so than in Berlin. I grew up in Berlin, and there are lots of arts, and from avant-garde movie to theater. I went to all the theaters as a child, as a teenager, and lots of opera houses and orchestras and everything. But Dresden is something that is very intriguing because it seems the relationship of the people with the music is very, very direct. It's a very high-class chamber music festival. So soloists come and play chamber music with young stars who are rising up. Like Kevin Schuh, you have heard in the Beethoven Septet, really, in my opinion, one of the very, very best violinists there are in the world right now. But he's only 19 years old. So we pick those great talents, and we have some super professionals. And then we have these young stars, and we mix them in a very thoughtful way. It's not like, oh, just put it together. I really think who could play this piece, with whom, and which piece could go with the other piece. So it's a very specifically curated festival with wonderful chamber music, played by some of the best musicians in the world in a very, very beautiful surrounding. I played this when I was 23 at the Moritzburg Music Festival. I love the piece. It's a very light-hearted piece by Beethoven, so virtuose, and it wasn't a piece where he struggled much. He just wrote it in a very good spirit. I love that. I love that feeling of commuting between the continents because it gives me a fresh start. When I come to New York, I see things differently. I can work with a very clear head on my festivals, which are in Europe. And when I come to Europe, I can look to America and have a very clear picture of what's happening there. during the pandemic, during the lockdown in New York, I started a radio show on WQXR called Where the Music Never Sleeps, and I had 2 long streams, 24-hour streams with other musicians, and I was very surprised that these streams reached so many hearts. I got so many emotional reactions, perhaps more than for anything I've ever done before, which surprised me. I thought, this is just virtual music. Is this possible to actually reach people so with such an impact? And afterwards I started thinking, I thought, okay, what we have to build now, we have to build a virtual concert hall where the experience is just a little bit different from the live experience. So a very high quality, it has to be a fun place, it has to have a cultural identity. Dreamstage doesn't just want to support classical music, it wants to have virtual concerts of all genres, and my dream is that it brings together all these genres which we have not managed in real life, but maybe in the virtual world we can have a performing arts center that brings together all music, and where hip-hop fans listen to classical and classical to rock concerts, and I think that's my dream.